State's biggest employers have cut thousands of Puget Sound area jobs since the start of the year, including Seattle-based Amazon, Bellevue-based T-Mobile, and Seattle-based Starbucks.
In fact, Starbucks just announced the elimination of 61 jobs at its corporate headquarters in Seattle this week. So what should we all be doing to financially prepare for that heartbreaking reality facing so many workers right now? Joining us in studio live this morning is financial advisor Adam Powell. He's with the Private Advisory Group. Thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning.
So if you're in that position, or if you're thinking, oh gosh, I might be in that position in the future,
right,
what is something that we can all do to prepare for that financially if it does happen down the road?
First thought that comes to mind is preparing your financial runway. Exactly how long is your runway? We are generally told to have money set aside for 3 to 6 months if we were to lose our jobs, and that's really important now. I would think if you're in the tech sector, you may want to go towards the longer end of that, 6 to 9 months, because those that are laid off finding jobs in the same industry is getting more difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 to 6 month runway or even longer. So
yes.
What if someone is already worried that they might be next?
I think it's on a lot of people's minds. I certainly, in my family, around the dinner table, that's been a discussion point. Many family members work in the tech industry. And I've encouraged them to make sure they're familiar with their how COBRA works for insurance. Generally, the first thing people worry about is their medical insurance for themselves and for their families. So be familiar with how that works. Find out if your company even has a severance package and what that looks like. And then again, back to the savings plan is like, what is your financial plan? And if you feel like you might be on the edge of being laid off, is like, look at your spending. What can you already cut back on? Because now would not be the time to get a new loan, maybe buy that car, to slow down and just prepare yourself.
Okay.
I would imagine, and I've not been in that position myself before, thankfully, but for people who are, getting laid off, learning that comes with all sorts of emotions, and you're frantically trying to figure out, what the heck do I do in this position? True. What do you do first financially if you ever come to the fact that you're laid off from a job?
Yeah, the first answer might surprise you, and that is do nothing. Just pause. Because generally I find, and other studies have shown, that in the first 2 weeks is when the most devastating financial decisions happen after losing a job.
Okay.
Because people tend to go into a mode of sometimes you know what, I'm gonna go on a trip. Because I got time now, and that can be really a financially devastating decision to make because you spend too much. Other people take their 401k from their work and they end up cashing it out or making investment decisions that have huge tax consequences. So really, take a breath. Slow down.
Okay.
Find an Adam Powell, right? Find somebody just to bounce ideas off of. Maybe not so much even to hire me, but just let's have a conversation and just take a beat, and slow down a little bit.
Don't go wild with the free time.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about savings, short-term savings specifically. Where should viewers keep their emergency funds, maybe?
Yeah, actually, it's a great time for those that have cash. For savings opportunities. One that comes to mind are high-yield savings accounts. Those right now are paying a good interest rate, far better than the bank. I don't want to put too much, talk down about banks too much. We need them. But banks, we fall into an inertia of putting our money there when we're younger, maybe in college, and we have this bank account, and we think that's where we should just keep our money. Those rates are extremely low. Let's just say you have $10,000 or $20,000, you're leaving anywhere from $400 to $800 of interest, free money, I call it, on the table every year by not having a high-yield savings account. So that'd be my first recommendation, is to move your money there. U.S. Treasuries are paying really well. They really are quite competitive. And then another thing is I bonds.
What is that?
The I stands for inflation, so inflationary bonds. And they're backed up by the government. And inflation just went up. I'm not sure if you guys talked about it here recently, but the CPI index just came out, and it just went up to 4.26%.
Wow.
So that's really good for those who have cash and want to save. Not so much good when you go out to buy eggs and milk.
Right. No.
When you're talking about savings, and we're just talking about where you put some of your money when you're trying to save, what's the biggest mistake that people make, would you say?
I would say that I mentioned earlier, they fall into leaving it at a bank. They think that it's safe, and it is safe, but it's safe at a very, very, very low interest rate. Banks, again, they have a lot of overhead. You see their names on stadiums and so forth. But when you go to a high yield savings account that doesn't have so much brick and mortar, you're able to keep more of your own interest versus it going to the financial institution.
Any recommendations for finding that high yield savings account? I know, I mean, there's so many different.
There's a bunch of them out
companies
there.
and
I
brands.
mean, I personally use Marcus. I like Marcus. There's Ally that's out there, Capital One. There's a bunch of them out there. Again, if you just go, kind of go look it up on the internet, like high yield savings accounts, I think those one I just mentioned will probably pop up really quickly. And you tie them to your bank account, and you can move money very, very quickly. So it's a great place for emergency funds. Speaking of emergency funds, real quick, I want to make sure we mentioned inflationary bonds or the I bonds.
Yeah.
That is not a place for emergency funds. And the reason why is you get a higher interest rate return, but you have to keep your money there for a certain amount of time to get the full value of it.
Okay.
Interesting. Lots of good information.
Lots of good information. Yes.
Break it down in such a conversational, easy way to understand.
Yes, he does.
Trying
And
to.
hopefully we're never in that position of,
Right.
of needing to rely on some of that
Yeah.
after a layoff. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.